Hello my dear health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here, and welcome to week 7 of Meal Prep for Weight Loss show. And today I'm going to be making another 2 recipes from Forks Over Knives cookbook. One of them is broccoli rice casserole and another is Savoy cabbage with mushrooms and sesame seeds. So let's get into it. So this is a very simple Brussels sprout recipe. I wouldn't say I'm the massive fan of Brussels sprouts, but we've got them in our veg bag maybe a week or 2 ago, so I need to use them up. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. So we'll make like a little sauce to coat them in, and then we're gonna roast them. So I've got my oven heating on 190. So 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, as well as half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And then I'm gonna just mix it all in with a little whisk. So that's ready. I'm gonna pour this onto the sprouts. So this is in like a little Tupperware container. I'm gonna put the lid on, and then we're gonna shake it to make sure we coat all of the sprouts in this liquid. So I've got my roasting tin, and I'm gonna add the sprouts to it. In fact, my oven is preheating on 200 degrees because we're gonna keep these roasting on 200 covered for about 25 minutes. So the sprouts actually looked ready after 25 minutes in a closed roasting tin. So that's all I'm gonna do to these. I'm just gonna put them in a container and that's ready to go. So for this broccoli and rice casserole from Forks Over Knives book, it's really simple. All you're gonna need is 3 cups of steamed broccoli florets. So this is my broccoli florets that I've steamed earlier. Then you're gonna need 2 cups of 1.5 cups it says actually, so I've got a little bit too much, so I'll keep a little bit in the bowl. So 1.5 cups, so about that. One batch, they say there are no cheese sauce. I've made my own no fat cheese sauce batch, and I'm gonna link it to you in the card above, in the description below. So actually you're gonna only need half of my batch of the no fat cheese, and then simply just mix it up, and we're gonna put this to bake in an oven. My oven is preheating on 175 degrees Celsius. So I've got my casserole dish here, and I'm gonna spoon the mixture in. So this is such a quick recipe if you've got some leftover rice. So I've just added this to the casserole and flattened it out a little bit, and it's ready to go into the oven. But then on top you could sprinkle a bit of smoked paprika or even chipotle chili powder. Would actually work quite well here too, I think. A bit of pepper as well if you want. So I'll do a couple of sprinkles. And then this goes into the oven on 75 degrees Celsius for 35 to 40 minutes or until it's bubbling through. So this is the finished broccoli rice casserole, ready to taste test. So now on to the taste testing our broccoli rice casserole. So this is still hot. I took it out of the oven. Let's give this a go. This is nice. I think it would work with cauliflower as well. And this is something that you can put together, you know, on the day. So have the batch of no-fat cheese ready, have some boiled rice, and it's easy just to steam some veggies, mix it all together and put it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes, and you've got a dinner ready. So yeah, so that's pretty good to just make on the night, or if you make ahead of time you can just obviously reheat it that night as well. So let's start with the Savoy cabbage with mushrooms and sesame seeds. So I've got my wok preheating here, and we're going to start with a punnet of shiitake mushrooms. Really I need 2 according to Forks Over Knives recipe, but that's all I've got, so that's what I'm going with. You know me, I either substitute or omit things and just do with what I've got. Then it's asking for a couple of scallions. However, I'm using leek because I don't have any scallions to hand, so it's about 1 cup of leek. 2 scallions would be about half a cup. So yeah, I'm going with 1 cup of leeks here. So adding that. Then it's 2 medium carrots grated, about 1 cup. They say mine is about 2 cups, but that's to kind of add in for the lack of mushrooms. So about 2 cups of grated carrots here. And then I've got a tablespoon of grated ginger. So that goes in, and last I've got only one tiny clove of garlic, but I needed 6 altogether, so I'm gonna substitute by adding some garlic powder later on. So we want to dry fry this for about 7 to 10 minutes until you know, the vegetables are cooked, the mushrooms have released their own juices. And if it starts sticking, then you can always add a bit of water or stock to deglaze the pan. And while the vegetables are frying, I'm going to make slurry here. So 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, or you can use tamari. Then a bit of grating of pepper. And because, like I said, I don't have the fresh garlic, I'm gonna put a teaspoon of garlic powder, because it was quite a few cloves of garlic, and 1 tablespoon of arrowroot powder. And I'm gonna mix it up. I like using whisk for this. So there we are, our slurry is ready. So now the vegetables have been frying for about 9-10 minutes. I'm adding in the slurry we made, and also the Savoy cabbage. So this is about 4 cups of, so a small Savoy cabbage. So I'm just gonna mix that through. I'm gonna reduce the heat a little bit, and I'm gonna put a lid on here and cook for another 5 to 7 minutes for the cabbage to soften and to release its juices. So I had to add a little bit of water here and also some brine. You know I love my brine. That'll give a nice kind of sourness and saltiness to it, because it was starting to stick to the bottom. So yeah, so it's been about 5 minutes, a couple more minutes, and this will be ready. So this is now ready. I've took it off the heat and we're gonna plate it, and we're gonna add a couple of other bits, and I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. So when plating this, we need to add some toasted cashews. So it's about 1/4 cup toasted cashews that the recipe said. However, mine, as you can see, they are peanuts. I didn't have, unfortunately, any cashews left. I'll need to get some again. But so yeah, so I'm using toasted peanuts. There's also some I'll put some parsley first, so also some parsley, so a bit of flat leaves parsley, and then also some toasted sesame seeds. So these ones I've toasted just on the frying pan. So obviously the plating you would do when you're ready to eat. Just to show you how it looks like. It looks yummy. And now on to the taste testing. So there's Savoy cabbage and mushrooms with sesame seeds. Let's give it a go. And this will, you could eat this either served on grain or on noodles as well. It works quite well, apparently. So let's taste this. Nice. I wish I had more mushrooms. Yummy. Yeah. So I can see how this will go quite nicely. I think I would add a little bit more, maybe soy sauce on it to make it a little bit more moist, or maybe when cooking add a little bit more stock, because I had to add a little bit more water. So at the end leave it a little bit more moist. Either add a little bit more soy sauce or some stock, like I said, so it's kind of more juicy. Because if you're putting it on grains or if you're putting it on noodles, you kind of want it to be juicy and not dry. So yeah, so this is a good way to use your cabbage. So this is the finished lot. I've got the broccoli and rice casserole. I've got some sprouts that I've cooked. I've got the Savoy cabbage with mushrooms and sesame seeds here. I've got half a batch of my no-fat cheese that I could use to kind of make more of the casserole if I want. So for example, to mix with rice and other veggie and bake again to make that again. I've also made a batch of my easy risotto rice, and I'll link to the recipe below as well. And I've also made some chickpeas. So this is some of the dishes we'll be eating through the week, as well as obviously fruit and leafies and berries for our smoothies, and also vegetables and greens and kind of tomatoes, that sort of thing, for salads as well. Week 7 meal prep for weight loss show is done. I hope you got some ideas. Let me know which one was your favorite recipe, and also what other recipes you would like me to show on this channel. And if you're new here, subscribe for more videos just like this on Saturdays and Wednesdays. And remember, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in your body. Until next time.